Good evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Tamiru Nimsat. Let's have a look at the headlines. President Kumar Dissanayake is in China on a 4-day state visit. Government announces new excise duty rates as vehicle imports resume. News in detail. President Kumar Dissanayake arrived at the Beijing International Airport, marking his first state visit to China at the invitation of Chinese President Xi Jinping. The Sri Lankan leader was greeted with a ceremonial welcome by the Chinese military and formally received by China's Deputy Foreign Minister Shen Jiadong. The route to the reception was adorned with the national flags of both nations, symbolizing the strong bilateral ties between Sri Lanka and China. President Dissanayake visited the exhibition hall on the history of Communist Party of China, gaining insights into the party's rich history and legacy. He toured the Prince Kung's Palace Museum, a historic landmark that showcases China's cultural heritage. The president also paid respects at the Mao Zedong Memorial, laying flowers in honor of the founding leader of the People's Republic of China. The president is set to attend field visits focusing on technological innovation, agricultural development, and poverty alleviation initiatives. High-level business meetings and discussions are scheduled to strengthen trade and investment partnerships. Several memorandums of understanding aimed at bolstering bilateral cooperation are expected to be signed during this visit. The government of Sri Lanka has issued a special gazette notification on 11 January, introducing revised excise duty rates for vehicle imports, which take effect immediately. This marks a pivotal moment as the country plans to resume vehicle imports in February 2025, ending a 5-year suspension. The new policy, signed by President Kumar Dissanayake, outlines excise duties ranging from 200% to 300% for vehicles manufactured within the last 10 years. The duties are based on criteria such as engine capacity, fuel type, vehicle configuration, key highlights of the duty structure, and passenger vehicles. Excise duties range from 200% to 300% for vehicles not exceeding 10 years from the date of manufacture. Vehicles carrying fewer than 13 passengers and modified to certain specifications face duties of 300% if less than 2 years old. Vehicles with engine capacities between 1000 cc and 1500 cc are taxed at 3,850 rupees to 4,450 rupees per cubic centimeter. Large engines exceeding 3000 cc attract duties of up to 13,300 rupees per cc depending on the vehicle's age. Hybrid and electric vehicles have separate rates influenced by motor types and battery capacities. Vehicles powered solely by electric motors face duties of 200% if older than 3.5 years and 300% for newer models. The Sri Lanka Economic Summit, themed Shaping Sri Lanka's Future Transformational Growth Rooted in Sound Economic Policies, is set to discuss value-added export in a session on 29th of January in Colombo. This session will delve into critical challenges and opportunities for enhancing Sri Lanka's export manufacturing sector. Discussions will revolve around productivity improvements to increase competitiveness, addressing the cost of doing business, promoting innovation and adopting advanced technologies, necessary labor law reforms to modernize workforce management. A highlight of the session will be a presentation by Parimada Amritamanich, Senior Manager of Deloitte, Thailand's Global Trade Advisory. Drawing on her extensive expertise in international trade negotiations, regulatory reforms and economic policy, she will share Thailand's success in fostering export-led investment growth. The session will feature Secretary, Ministry of Industry and Entrepreneurship Development, JMT Jayasundara, CEO, Mass Holdings PLC, Suren Fernando, and Executive Director, Helios Group, Rajitha Kariyavasan. The panel will be moderated by Secretary General of JAF and Chairman of EASL, Johan Lawrence. Stay tuned. We will return after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. The Sri Lanka Maldives Business Council has identified opportunities for Sri Lankan companies in the Maldives across logistics, tourism, agriculture, boat construction, fisheries and construction. The Council presented a detailed report on potential opportunities to EDB Chairman Mangala Vijayasinghe and Maldives High Commissioner Masood Dimad at an event held in Colombo recently. The report was based on consultations with key Maldivian ministries and organizations. Sectoral growth potential identified in the report included special concessions such as a 50% tax discount for small boat operations create attractive business conditions. It was also recognized that emerging areas such as ferry connections and innovative transportation solutions present untapped markets. The Sri Lankan Export Development Board supported 22 SME exporters by subsidizing 50% of stall costs at a Maldivian exhibition in May, facilitating their entry into the Maldivian market. The Sri Lanka Maldives Business Council announced an upcoming CSR project focused on improving eye and hearing health for the residents of Faiz Matood Island in the Maldives. President of the Council, Sudesh Mendis, remarked the expanding Maldivian market holds vast opportunities for Sri Lanka.
It is very unfortunate to say that we still do not have proper trade agreement between these two countries. Last year, Turkey signed a trade agreement with the Maldives, showing how much other countries are interested in this small nation. I believe it is our duty to bring this back to Sri Lanka and strengthening our bilateral relationship between these two countries.
Speaking at the event, Maldives High Commissioner Masood Dimad urged Sri Lanka to ease travel restrictions on Maldivian citizens, emphasizing the importance of rebuilding strong bilateral ties post-COVID-19 and the Easter attacks. He said that discussions with Sri Lankan officials are ongoing to address these concerns.
After the Easter Sunday and all these things, Maldives has been listed as a security concerned country, and nobody has been talking about this. And so visa issues have become very difficult for Maldivians here. Every 3 months you have to go to the immigration and then get your visas renewed. Every 3 months you have to have a security check. You have to have a medical report done. So this is, in short, not welcome. It is like saying, listen, go back to your country. So I have been speaking to your government and try to reverse this process. 30,000 Sri Lankans in Maldives. Maldives is crowded, small. But there are 30,000, we are still accommodating. Sri Lanka is big, and 30,000 Maldivians would mean nothing. It will be like a drop in the ocean, And 30,000 Maldivians in Sri Lanka would mean at least 1,500 times 30, times 30, times 12 in terms of United States dollars.
The Youth Collab National Youth Dialogue themed Leadership, Innovation, Entrepreneurship took place recently, uniting over 100 youth leaders, policymakers, entrepreneurs and innovators from across Sri Lanka. The event, spearheaded by the United Nations Development Programme, served as a platform to address concerns faced by youth involved in entrepreneurship and innovation. The dialogue emphasized the pivotal role of Sri Lankan youth in addressing national and global challenges through innovation and entrepreneurship. Participants discussed barriers to youth participation in governance and the startup ecosystem, proposing actionable solutions to advance sustainable development. The dialogue concluded with transformative recommendations to guide Sri Lanka's youth programming and partnerships, advocating for policies that position young people as pivotal drivers of sustainable development. Since 2017, the National Youth Dialogue has been a flagship event in Sri Lanka, connecting with regional youth collab initiatives to create a dynamic network of youth-focused dialogues. Stay tuned for Stock Update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today.
The All Share Price Index gained by 226.35 points to close at 16,152.35, and the S&P SL20 dropped by 96.90 points to close at 4,905.19. The turnover was 4.4 billion rupees and over 172 million shares were traded.
Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.